Hey class, how's it going? Welcome to my first attempt in trying to create what's called a flipped classroom. I'll explain more about that tomorrow in class. But right now, let's go ahead and continue where we left off on Friday. First period, I think we got up to this problem. I can't remember if we finished it or not. Fifth period, I know we did. We got on to the next one. So just fifth period, just bear with me as we try to finish this for first period. So we're talking about limits. So in this problem, we are talking about the limit as x approaches 1. Okay? So remember that we kind of have an open circle there. X cannot equal 1. Okay, because of the denominator. But we're talking about limits. So the limit of this function x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 as x approaches 1. But before we can figure this out, or before we can even start considering this, we got to start seeing the behavior of the function of the graph as we approach x equals 1 from the left. Oops. Let's see. So remember in class, I had you guys draw tables or create tables. You guys create the table for this. And remember that I made you guys pick values that were very, very close to x equals 1. Okay, we're looking at decimal values. So we're focusing, we're getting arbitrarily close to x equals 1. Okay, we're talking decimal values. So as we get closer and closer to 1, what are we approaching from the left side and what are we approaching from the right side? So remember that when I say from the left side or from the right side, that's when we start including that superscript, the limit of x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 as x approaches 1 from the negative side. Okay, so you guys can see that we are approaching 2. Okay, remember this is not the same as f of 1 equals 2. This is the limit of x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 as x approaches 1 from the negative side is 2. Okay, we'll do the same thing now from the positive side. So the limit of x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 as x approaches 1, but this time from the positive side. Now, as we're getting very, very, very close to x equals 1, we are also approaching the outcome. Kind of think of it as the y value. We're approaching the y value of 2. Okay? Now, this is very important because the value for the left is the same as the value from the right. So these two came out the same. These answers were the same. We say that the limit exists. Okay? So because the limit of x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 as x approaches 1 from the negative side came out to 2, which happened to be the same thing. Okay, it was the same thing as the same answer as the limit as x approaches 1 from the positive side. We say that the limit exists okay, notice I didn't put a superscript no more. There's no minus or a plus anymore. That's the answer. Okay? Okay, let's go ahead and see the graph that we were doing in fifth period, or pretty much now that we're all caught up with fifth period, we're going to go ahead and put absolute values now. How do we do absolute values here? Let's see. X minus 1 absolute value divided by x minus 1. Alright, so now we're looking at this graph. So yes, I do want you guys to add this to your notes. So copy these down. And I'll go over this again tomorrow. But little by little, the idea of this flipped classroom is I will be uploading videos onto YouTube, and you guys will be taking notes at home. Okay? So if you haven't already caught on to it, if you haven't already taken out your notes and started adding on to it, make sure you do that now. You can pause this movie at this video at any time. Press play whenever you want. That's kind of the beauty of you being able to just watch a video and take notes based on the video. Okay, so this is our next example. Oh, and if you guys want to follow along with your graphing calculators, the absolute value bars in your graphing calculators, you have to hit math. Once you hit math, you got to scroll to the right so that you are on that numbers column, NUM, and the first option should be ABS, absolute value. Okay, so that's how you can graph, or that's how you can get the absolute value bars on your graphing calculator at home, so you can follow along. Now, so for this one, for this example, we are going to focus on, you guessed it, the limit as x approaches 1. Okay? So notice that there's something going on here. So let's check. So the limit of the absolute value of x minus 1 over x minus 1 as x approaches 1. So before we can answer this, we have to consider, once again, what's the behavior, what's the function approaching, what y value are we approaching as we get close to x equals 1 from the left, and I'm talking very, very close, arbitrarily close to x equals 1. Same thing, we got to check what value are we approaching, what outcome are we approaching as x approaches 1 from the right. So this, once again, we start writing that superscript, so with positives and negatives. So now think about that. Pause this video. Think about what is the graph approaching? What is the y value? What is the outcome as we're getting close to 1 from the negative side? Okay. Okay. So now that you guys have had some time to think about it, hopefully you guessed that as we get closer and closer to 1, x equals 1, from the left side, from the negative side, our outcome is negative 1. Okay, we'll do the same thing. Now we're going to do it for the limit of the absolute value of x minus 1 over x minus 1 as x approaches 1, this time from the positive side. Okay, again, hit pause, think about it. Okay, so as we're getting closer and closer to 1 from the positive side, we are x equals 1 from the, we're approaching x equals 1 from the positive side. Our outcome is positive 1. Okay, notice that the limit from the left did not agree on the value with the limit from the right. Okay, these are not the same. Okay, so because the limit, the absolute value of x minus 1 over x minus 1 as x approaches 1 from the negative does not equal the limit of the absolute value of x minus 1 over x minus 1 as x approaches 1 from the positive side. Oh man, should be an arrow. 1 from the positive side. Then we say that the limit of the absolute value of x minus 1 over x minus 1 as x approaches 1 does not exist. Okay, that's your answer here. Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, this time f of x is equal to 1 over x minus 2 squared. Okay. Okay, and what I want to know is what's the limit as x approaches 2. So the limit of 1 over x minus 2 squared as x approaches 2. Okay, add this to your notes, copy the graph. I'm about to run out of time. I'm only getting 15 minutes per take, so I will start another video for the second part. Okay, but go ahead and copy this down and then click on the next video.